We back. It's the final round of Swiss.
Welcome to the 7th round. This is the last one right before top 8, baby. We've got two people that we play every Tuesday. And boy, does it suck to be in their meta because they're always kicking my ass. Now they're going to take one of each other out of the top 8. Let's get some energy going, y'all. I just went to the bathroom. I'm ready to go.
You're not even talking about your battles on stream today.
Yeah, no, I would never do that. We're going to do a Dromai,
They're up
which
here.
you haven't seen. Oh, look up there.
Yeah, there they are.
Oh, my God. We're going to do a Dromai versus a Lexi player. The Lexi player from round 1 that we're going to all root against as a family. We're going to root for Andrew Rudin so we can make Evan not be top 8.
Okay.
Because it's so fun to root against him, I promise.
We have got, hopefully in a game that will show off the trench a little more. We've got Evan Bridges, the Lexi from round 1, who really barely used that trench in the round game. We have to imagine that's going to be happening as we have him going against one of the premier illusionist players we have in Southern California, and Andrew Rudin. This dude is just, you know, top 5 XP player type of deal. Evan Bridges has been honestly on a tear recently, doing so well at the Pro Tour, qualifying for nationals, winning an RTN.
Who would have thought that playing Flesh and Blood 6 days a week all around the greater Los Angeles area would get you that good?
So you've got two players here at 5-1. Now, there's a very good chance they're both going to make it to the top 8 no matter the outcome of this round.
But man, I hope not.
That's not necessarily true. There was a draw right at the top tables between undefeated players, so we know how that can make things funky.
Really?
Yeah, there was a draw earlier in their, like, not last round, but the round before. So these players definitely still have a lot to play for here.
What's crazy is we never do draws at my locals. We're always just like, just play it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're there till 11:30.
Well, there's a difference in like tournament level Flesh and Blood versus, say, you know, your local armory. And these are quite literally our local armory players here at the top of this PTI Gold Foil AGE Open tournament.
And if you think you have deja vu when you see Andrew Rudin's complete massive money deck of Dromai. Because Zach just had every single one. I feel like it's every Dromai player though.
It's a thing, dude. It's a thing. Totally is.
He's probably got to wait. He's gonna pay extra to get the Merlion sigil. Yeah, the Hermione sleeves are back.
What was his explanation? I heard you ask the question.
Who? What happened? Oh,
what was it about the sleeves?
It was probably so boring. No, he was like, he's like, you don't even remember. He's like, I love her or something.
I don't think it was that.
He was like, she was my main squeeze back in the day. Lexi's my main squeeze now. I think was kind of the thought process if it's not verbatim.
So we didn't have any Dromai really on the stream at all yesterday because they didn't do that well. But we do have a Dromai right here, definitely like very well looking like they're gonna get into top 8.
All right.
Right here with the Seeker's leggings in the legs, the Wave of Reality, which is going to really kind of shore up the break points on those beginnings.
Evan's playing in the camera instead of focusing. I hope this backfires completely.
He's really just...
You're good to go, Evan. Just play, please. Wave of Reality was not played against Oldham because obviously you need Ghostly Touch. Wave of Reality, for anybody that's tuning in who's like, what does that do? It has Ward 1. And then when it breaks, make a Spectral Shield. So no matter what happens, it will block 2 points of damage. Unless Vambrace, but there's no Vambrace. So we can say that.
And so, well, yeah, on these arrows that Lexi's going to present that are often like a nice 4 breakpoint, sometimes a 5 breakpoint over like a D-React, the Wave of Reality is going to, again, shore that up for those first couple arrows, which can be really important as the game goes along. I do want to call attention
Seeker's
to the...
leggings.
Yeah, I do want to call attention to the artist proof that he just put to demarcate a used equipment there. It is the reason he's playing Dromai today. He told me he played Oldham yesterday, but he wants to show off those artist proofs. And showing them off he is, as he's going to start this game.
Sarakai, I hope you have your battering bolt, fool.
and Evan Bridges only with the one battering bolt in the list.
I think 2 Command and Conquers too. So
okay,
3 total.
3 total poppers. We do have the Quiver of Abyssal Depths there just in case, and we just
in your opening hand, dude. How lucky! That's the down and dirty. I think that could maybe make a return when we Codex of Frailty.
Absolutely.
Just to get some popper protection. Of you can't mess with my popper with Dominia if it's in my arsenal.
We're going to start the turn after that with an Art of War. Now, Andrew Rudin, he didn't get to keep an arsenal, but he does have 2 Ash. Nice to start him up for the game. Starting your you know, your game with 2 ashes is similar-ish to having an arsenal because you have some resources ready for you later. So we're going to first start off for Evan here. We've got 2 floating as we finish off this Art of War. Banish, draw 2, into the 3 of a
Three of a
kind.
kind? What does that card do?
He always has it. It's like when Evan comes on camera, he just draws all the cards he wants in the exact order he needs. And now let's see what he's got. I see a couple of endless arrows. I'm seeing...
We already have a GG in the chat.
we
It's
have
over.
an infecting shot. But we're going to start with the Bolton shot because this is threatening the reload. There's no way to... There's no dragons on Andrew's side of the board, so you can't just, like, automatically trigger the reload, which sometimes is nice off especially, like, your yellow and your blue Bolton shots.
Get a big dragon with that.
Yeah, but here we go with just the 5. So let's see again. Andrew, if he does have the D-react here, this is going to go ahead and shore up the damage if he wants to use it. But let's see how he wants to go ahead and block this out.
I wonder how fast and loose this is going to be. If, like...
These are 2 good friends.
Yeah, they're like, something already went wrong. Call the judge. Fingers crossed that it's nothing too crazy, because it is literally turn 1. Somebody else from our local meta, Francisco, getting in on the action. Seeker's leggings. What are we talking about? Oh, they're wondering if he has 2 ash because what is the order of Flame Furnace? We'll go ahead and let them have some. Ooh, wrong button. Privacy. Some privacy, if you or UK.
So he used his furnace when he hadn't played a red?
Potentially is what they're wondering, or are they doing it? I don't know if that's going to be some crazy thing. We see Francisco running to grab Yichin, probably to appeal, or the thought process of, yep, Yichin is standing up. You're going to be able to see the back half of Yichin closer.
Head judge walking over there. They're going to resolve that.
I don't think it's too crazy in turn 1. Thank God it was turn 1 or whatever, instead of like the end of the game where it's like game losing if you're whatever. Andrew Rudin, very famously, will at like 2:30 in the morning be like, "You guys aren't sleeping, are you?" and say it into our group chat, and it's like,
trying to get some.
Are you practicing at 2:30 in the morning? Like, maybe this is why you sleep, so you don't do random stuff. Turn 1. Yichin's like, all right, let me sit down and ruin your life here. This is why I do this.
So, yeah.
Do you understand what IP stands for?
So, he used the Seeker's leggings. So, would he not have had... Why did he... Did he just use the Flame Scale Furnace to make more ash?
I think what happened is he pitched 3 reds to make that.
Oh, so he wouldn't...
So he has...
So he's showing us here. So we activate the Seeker's leggings.
Seeker's legging. We look at the top card. I don't know if there's anything with the opt that went wrong. Pitch 3 reds. Boom, boom, boom.
Activates Furnace to make 2, and then plays Vincere Kai by.
We didn't play a red though, so you can't activate Furnace.
Yeah. So he activated Furnace to make 2, and then went ahead and
instead of being like, oh. Whoops, you can't do that. Evan was so excited he hit a popper. He's like, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to not think about this. It's kind of an irreversible fix, says Anthony. Vinny equals 3 reds. Yeah. So I don't know what this means, if it's just going to go.
Interesting, yeah, to see how the players want to resolve this. I mean, you probably just defer to the judges. There's no, at this point, this is a high-level professional tournament.
Right.
So there is certain...
Because these people on a Tuesday would just be like,
sorry,
okay,
man.
let's try again. I don't know if it's like...
Because it did critically. I mean, Evan used a popper on that dragon, which if that dragon was unable to be played, that's a popper that he's able to plop into his arsenal for later in this game that now is sitting in the graveyard.
I don't think that, like, we just grabbed the rule book. Let's do... I don't know. How much privacy? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're just talking.
They're just talking.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody to go, no! I think it's going to be, can tell players are getting tired. It's 2 days in a row. Evan didn't play anything yesterday, so if he's tired, he needs to start.
Leave Evan alone.
Okay, I'll leave him alone. Andrew is tired because he played a lot of rounds yesterday.
He did.
And whenever they get done playing and they get eliminated from the tournament, everybody goes and plays some more games. Yeah. You just rewind, but they played so much. We got a lot of opinions in chat. I am not a judge, so I could never be a judge, to be honest. That's not how my brain works. We're going to write all this down.
Looks as though the judge is making a ruling.
High-level tournament, the thought process is just there's multiple rules sections.
Mm-hmm.
An armory on a Tuesday.
Casual.
Casual.
Calling. First day.
Double, not casual.
There's
Battle hardened. So I think
professional, and then there's also like
yeah.
It's not advanced.
We're like the middle one for AGE tournaments. We're not the you'll immediately lose if you do something wrong. There's like a middle ground, which I think is how we do all our AGE stuff. Cool. Cool. So if you're aware of what football does, offsetting penalties, both players are going to get hit by Yichin here. The worst person is going to be Andrew. He's going to get an IP2. So for the next 2 turns, he will only be drawing 3 cards. Game violation for Andrew Rudin. And then Evan Bridgen gets a violation for failure to maintain game state.
Because it is also on your opponent to make sure that...
you can't have your opponent continuously break rules and then call a judge later. That is also on you to do that. Famously known as in Pokemon, everyone gets docked for that because none of those people know anything. I also don't know anything, so that would happen to me. I think it's something that's interesting because Evan's one of our judges from yesterday. He was just so happy to have a popper, though, so it does make sense. Andrew's probably going to take maybe 6 damage will probably hit Andrew over the next 2 turns that wouldn't have happened.
Because of the IP2.
And I think Dromai's kind of favored in the Lexi, so will the 6 damage matter? This is why we play the game, is to have stories like that of like, oh crap, I would have been fine, but what happened here?
So Infecting Shot now coming in for 7. We're just going to give up the equipment and the Wave of Reality, which is going to create a Spectral Shield. We're going to lose the Crown of Providence, but we're not going to use the Sync effect. -1 counter on the Flame Scale Furnace, but we're going to make sure we don't take as much damage as Andrew Rudin has to be thinking for the next 2 turns. I am just protecting my life total, and I'm just going to have to start this game from less life.
Right.
That's kind of how it has to be.
Right. This tournament is a local homegrown tournament, so we do. It's not like you guys know our stuff. It is like it's all on our website probably. I don't know if Evan got the warning. Yeah, we're having our man in the sky do that. Meanwhile. What is this?
Got an Infecting Shot being loaded with Go again, coming in again, coming out after Andrew here. This is going to be
That's the easy block. But look at this. Evan's just going to have 3 endless arrows at the worst possible time for Andrew to have this happen to him. Because, oh, don't worry, I'll only take 3 on each of my turns where I don't have this, but it's the worst arrow to do that to. Andrew's going to go, okay, great. This is my final turn of intellectual penalty. Do you want to hold this, 7? We'll put this over here.
Would you like this?
Yeah, will you sign this for me?
So Andrew only drawing the 3 cards here because of the unfortunate mistake with the Flame Scale Furnace. So
unfortunately, this is a punish. Evan is going to be playing endless arrows endlessly.
And we do see in that hand as well a Lightning Press, which has some interesting niche use cases in the Dromai matchup as well, because you can basically have a DIY popper. If you give a blocking card +3 attack, all of a sudden, boom, it's up to 6, and it's popped a dragon.
Right.
So this is now going to just be coming in with the Go again. We have the Lightning Surge, or Lightning Press, ready to go in case Andrew tries to only block 6 here, which it looks like he is going to do. Lightning Press going to come through, make it block for an additional 1. No reaction from Andrew, so that Endless Arrow is going right back to hand.
This is something where, like, it kind of sucks because it's like, you would do this when you can set up board. You would take this damage to set up board. He's going to take this damage just because of a lapse in judgment or whatever we're going to call that, and then we're not going to have the board afterwards. Now we're going to be playing the whole time without this Flame Scale Furnace.
Yeah, now we have to give the Flame Scale Furnace and a 3-block to prevent that Endless Arrow from going even all the way back to hand.
4 cards now.
So at the end of this, you've lost your Flame Scale Furnace, you've lost all of your equipment.
Yeah.
You have 2 Ash in an arsenal, but you're down 9 life. Perhaps it could be worse in terms of the life loss. Perhaps you could be sitting at a greater deficit, but losing all the equipment, especially the Flame Scale Furnace that early,
hurts.
That makes your 2 costs, as we saw with the Fitzeric guy, and greater, much harder to play.
Right. Which That's one of the things that kind of sucks about it is like I was using my Flamescale Furnace to get ahead, not realizing that, oh crap, and now I just will never have that ability. Like I was so pumped to use that ability, and now I won't have it at all. I do like the artist proof covering up broken equipment. That's an
cool.
interesting new thing. Always evolving meta of showing off really cool things in Flesh and Blood.
That is a interesting part of the meta. We're going to go ahead and come in again with our second Art of War of the game for Evan Bridge. Like cribbage, but Bridge.
What's the lore behind getting an intellect penalty in the middle of a duel to the death? You stub your toe, or you get hit
On the head really hard?
Yeah, you bonked.
You're dazed, dazed and confused.
Premeditate, that's a good card to come after this. It's going to give the next arrow +3, and anytime the next card hits, next attack action hits, we're going to make a ponder. So the reason we're doing Trench, too.
Absolutely. All these ponder tokens, this is what Evan Bridges wants to be doing with this deck, creating as many ponders as he can. He doesn't care what he puts in that first or second arsenal zone because he can just trench it away, use it for a resource. He doesn't mind if it's 2 attacks without go again. It's not going to matter to him. But we're getting +4 onto this arrow, so this one's coming in for 9.
Jeez. Take it is kind of like, what is the game plan when you are this far behind in both resources, not resources, equipment and health?
Endless Arrow here, coming in for 5 with the Art of War. We've already pondered once, so we're going to be drawing a card at the end of this turn. No matter what, the Heat Seeker is also going to put a card into our arsenal face up. That can't be trenched away. So whatever card comes in from the Heat Seeker, we're going to have to make sure we utilize on our next turn. This one's coming in for 5. Andrew, bleeding life, just taking the 9 there from the Heat Seeker after that Art of War and the Premeditate.
Is Trench does care about face down, face up stuff?
Yeah, I think it's face down.
Damn. Maybe it is bad. Trench! We're pitching.
We used our Snapdragons on the Endless Arrow, so we're just going to come in again with it.
And I think Andrew's just waiting. Please stop playing this Endless Arrow. I'm tired of this. Because if this goes back in his hand, it's like, is Evan going to 40-0? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, we're already drawing a card at the end of this turn no matter what with the Ponder token. So this is going to go back to hand. We're not going to be able to bullseye it in. Oh, wait. Did he give a go again off the Voltaire?
This feels like such a, this is going to be so cool to watch two people we know just like, they know each other really well. Maybe some of that familiarity breed, what is that sentence?
Breeds contempt.
Or not. Is it contempt?
I think so. Familiarity.
Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong.
Contentment? Nah. I think it's contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt.
Or I was like complacency, but I guess it's a different C word. Yeah. But like, just the one lapse of judgment can just snowball when we're doing this. But check out this $17,000 card I just came at you with. Take it, Evan. Get some karma back on your side, my man.
So this Command and Conquer, hey, it's threatening the arsenal, but look at this. We're trenching a card away. Trench.
Command and Conquer never matters against me.
Getting a resource. You know, you have to imagine there's going to be some inclination to block here. You can use that trenched resource to load your bow after the Command and Conquer has hit and destroyed your arsenal.
Sick.
That's pretty cool.
I remember that when that first happened to me, I was like, don't worry, I'm going to get some tempo here, play Command and Conquer, and then it was trench it away and load it afterwards. And I was like, this is a mess.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and lose our arsenal here. Let's see if he is going to go ahead and activate the Voltaire at the end of this turn. He has the one resource. Let's point to it.
He's pointing at it.
He's pointing to it. And we are going to go ahead and activate the Voltaire to put the Endless Arrow in at the end of the turn. So now,
my Command and Conquer.
His turn.
And maybe this isn't the worst thing. We're going to Sigil. Sigil means Command and Conquer's only really come in for 3 if you think about stuff that way. And having 4 Ash isn't that awful after what has been going on.
No, he's got a lot of Ash to work with. The question is Evan going to be able to just keep the pressure on enough that any potential dragons aren't going to scare him too bad? He's got so much life to play with because of that IP penalty, because of the ability to just throw all that damage at the beginning of the game. He's just got so much more resource of his life to spend on dragons, and he can just be perhaps ignoring some of them if they come out, depending on how his hand lines up, to just pressure Andrew Rudin's life total, which is already down to 14.
Right. Because some of the things that Andrew's going to do doesn't sound as fun when you're behind by 20.
For sure.
Some of these dragons aren't as high impact. Like maybe it is wait for your best dragons, block out until you can start Dominia going or Tumultai. Tumultai the trench would be my favorite thing that has happened in 2 days.
That Asvalai going to get unblocked, and then an E-Strike coming in with the draw card tech. So this is 5 damage, threatening Evans, 31 life. He's going to look how he wants to play this one out. I do see a Rain Razors in his hand, a Premeditate, looks like a drill shot. Andrew Rudin trying desperately to cling to this part of the game, but those are 2 blue arrows that are going to be thrown at the inline strike.
So here comes the 3 of the kind. That's pretty
perhaps
much a signpost that somebody's about to draw 3 cards.
We're going to go a Premeditate.
Oh, what is this one? Rain Razors? Codex. You're wrong, Blake.
This is probably going to get the Bolton shot because it's going to have go again from that +5. So we're going +5 onto this first arrow and then +2 onto the second. Luckily for Andrew, he already has an arsenal, so he's not going to have to discard a card after the effect of the Codex. So this one's going to be coming in.
Right.
+5, +4 is 9. So here comes 9 damage. No reload, but Ponder on hit. We don't have the Snapdragons up to give this endless arrow go again, but it is just going to come in for 6 after this 9 damage. So that's a total of 15. So blocks have to happen here.
There is one world where I wish, like we could just be like, let's just start the game over again and try again, Andrew. Do a whole first turn again.
Try again.
I say that with love. Like that is not sarcastic at all. Like I do wish. Like, if Evan loses this, honestly, the coolest thing ever. But it just feels so, like, oh, can I beat heroes? Yes. Can I beat heroes without all my stuff? No.
Yeah, it's the difference between playing in a professional level or competitive level tournament where rules violations and game violations can actually be, it's something that players are expected to be responsible for beyond, which is different than your local army where these 2 players are used to meeting, where between friends and between the spirit of having a good game, often you can let things like that, well, we can just go back. Let's just take the turn back because I'm more interested in having, a more competitive, more interesting game.
Right.
But in this situation, when you're playing for something like a gold foil and a PTI, you are expected.
Not flesh and blood and friends.
Yeah, exactly. You're expected to play clean. You're expected to play by the rules. And if you don't do so, even if it is an accident, there are just going to be consequences.
Right. Frailty token's not going to matter to dragons. So everything's going to be coming in for normal damage. Evans at 28. So I think he is kind of like, I don't really care unless I ever get under 10. And the offensive pressure that my deck brings, if you remember from round 1, if you don't remember from round 1, he kind of plays the high roll version of Lexi instead of the consistent version.
Yeah.
So kind of the worst person to only have 3 cards to block against, because he's doing high roll all the time.
We have an Art of War coming in. This is going to say with go again and +1 rather than the banish. So this is coming in for 9. He would have taken 3. So basically comes in for 9.
Sigil block.
Sigil block. So no life lost. But
oof,
we are going to go ahead and Codex of Inertia. So top card from the arsenal.
Dang, I hate that card.
Into the arsenal. And now we're discarding our last card. We've already gotten the Heat Seeker trigger online.
Codex of Inertia.
Into a drill shot for 5 after the Art of War, but the top card
of
Andrew's deck, Fate Foreseen.
That's sick. Take that, Evan.
Evan with a little smile at this point, taking 1. Ponder.
But once again, what is Andrew going to do on his turn? It's like swing Asvalai. Maybe Evan goes, okay, I'll take 3.
An attack for 6, the Heat Seeker, not for 9.
Also, that card's also $17,000. The Fortune Cookie?
Oh, yes.
Fortune Cookie Fate Foreseen?
Fate Foreseen, yeah, about 17,000. That in the
CNC. What are you thinking about doing, Evan? Take it. All right. Inertia. Why are you pointing at my dragon? Don't point at my dragon.
That was probably an Asvalai without Phantasm that came in. We're going to flip and show a drill shot after the Ponder token. Let's play Premeditate.
How many Premeditates can you draw? Stop doing this.
This is going to be now a Sedation shot. This one's going to be coming in for 8.
Somebody said no Heat Seeker card. Did he forget?
No, I think.
Oh. Oh, he did? Somebody said he did. Okay. Did he forget this? Okay, no. Everybody says we're fine. Oh, he
Yeah,
should have got the heat
that's what
sink.
I thought.
Okay.
I was like, that sigil is just gaining the life that he would have lost, but he did do damage. He did do damage, and then he gained life. So it still hit, even though no life changed. Because life technically changed, they just didn't represent it.
So anytime we mess up, we're just gonna say we're tired, and anytime we do something good, we're gonna say we're good.
Yeah, we're good at all
That's
times.
the option select
we're
that
good
we
and-
use in
we're good and
SoCal
tired.
to make us seem like we're amazing. We're mostly amazing.
Evan here with the Ponder, going to go ahead and ponder that card in. Once again, this is what this Illusionist deck is now just priced in doing. We're going to attack with a single dragon without Phantasm, and we're going to block with everything until the Lexi deck falters at all, and perhaps we can pivot into a little more aggression. But this is going to be, I'm assuming, an attack 4-3, 1 arcane and 2 physical.
Honestly, not the worst type of thought process for Andrew of like, thank
Nope.
God I have Azulite up, so
Yep.
instead of leaking one and my opponent, nothing happens to my opponent, it's I leak a couple and then Evan takes 3. And if you do that
Until the
8 more times, you win. Yeah, like it's going to be hard to get through 8 rounds of offensive pressure.
We trenched away the card off the Ponder, and we've loaded in a Sleep Dart with our Voltaire after doing so. So that does lead me to believe that if there might not be a lot of pitch
That's not
in
a
Evan's
good.
hand.
That's not a good arrow at all.
Oh, but there's a blue. So we're going to go ahead and put in the Sleep Dart into the red zone. It's coming in for 5, which is just going to have to be blocked by a 3 block and a 2 block there with the Vincerakai.
Perfect.
And
block.
the Passing Mirage is going to cover it up entirely. We do see a Battering Bolt, so one of the poppers, as well as a Bolton shot that could be coming in for 5. But if you put that Battering Bolt in the arsenal, it's not like a down and dirty. It's not going to be doing any popping.
Right.
But until you clear the Miragai, you're not doing any popping anyway. And as soon as you start to put an attack into the dragons instead of into Andrew, you're leaving him with 1 or 2 cards. That could resolve another dragon. That could allow him to get some value out of it this way. So instead, he's just going to go ahead and we're just sending the Battering Bolt in after utilizing our...
and Battering Bolt, that has never been in an Evan list ever. That is from yesterday. That is saying, oh, Battering Bolt starts at 6, and I add 1 from Voltaire. Now I can have my opponent leak damage. It's going to be great. I'm gonna be losing to that very soon.
So after that, you know, he bullseyed it in to only take the 1 damage. Andrew blocked for 6, so only 1 damage leaking through. We're going to start this turn, activate Lexi, flip over Bolton shot. Most likely we're going to be activating Voltaire here. Let's put in a...
7 turns of Asvolai away from winning for Andrew.
Falcon Wing. This is kind of going to come in for 4 with go again, most likely just a block for 3, leaking 1.
Cool.
Andrew just in damage control time. We're going to see how much can we block, how much can we keep pinging. And Evan not wanting to commit cards or resources to these dragons yet, but because being able to load on his last turn or have an arsenal, he's going to come in 3 arrows wide.
Jeez. I think you do commit 2 cards to block this, because going down to 3 kind of does not feel great, because then now you can get lightning pressed at any moment.
Andrew Rudin taking 2 after blocking.
But that looks like a sigil, so we're not going to be 3 very long.
So inertia token after the sedation shot dealing 2 damage. Andrew back to 3, an inertia token on his side.
Sigil could make now Asvolai have go again.
Yes, it can. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3.
Love it. Now I'm doing 5 to you if I commit Miragai. I'm going to commit Miragai. Pop it. Pop it. No. Now we're doing 5. Now the turn clock for Evan is 3.
Evan down to 14. Andrew back up to 6. He's not been able to keep an arsenal. He's been blocking with his whole hand every turn because what else are you going to do? But again, until Evan deals...
Uh-oh. Goodbye. I hate this combo so much.
That's a Rain Razors.
You hate watching Lexi at home?
That's a Rain Razors. That's a 3 of a kind. That's going to be a lot of damage onto each one of these arrows.
I think what is interesting.
What's interesting,
if we
Blake?
take a second.
What's
it's
interesting?
like that we see some master like combo stuff get placed by a couple heroes like Kano or Dromai, the Ash artist, and then all of that gets like wiped away by I play 2 cards in a row. Rain Razors first, 3 of a kind second. It is kind of like one of those is so much easier to do. Why is that one so strong?
Yeah.
but you can't play from. You can only play from Arsenal. It's like, well, that's the only thing I play from all the time.
This one's going to be coming in for 6. We're able to block 4 of it with the sink below.
Nice.
We're taking.
What's that last card?
Most likely 2 here, going
Better
down
not
to
be
3.
Remembrance. It's probably a Remembrance because we thought this was going to be a long-ass game. Then it was a short-ass game. What was it?
We're sinking a card away. We're hoping for maybe another sink below because his comes in with a searing shot for a 3, which is going for 6.
Too many.
That's going to be the game there between Evan and Andrew. The final searing shot for 6, dealing 4 damage upon hit, which is going to be another win for Evan. Again, not really getting to show the true power of the trench.
We're not going to put Evan on ever again on stream. Don't worry.
I feels like when we put him on stream, he just gets lucky.
Yeah, what
he
the
just
heck,
gets lucky up there.
I think if Brody is quote-unquote the Wonder Kid.
What's Evan?
Lucky.
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread. Same way you spell it.
Coming in from the supercomputer. That's the match between Andrew and Evan. Both players definitely in contention for top 8. Evan very well likely might be the 1 seed coming out of Swiss.
Stop.
6-1. He might be.
He's going to explode.
He might be him or Matt Vore, I think.
His head, his ego. He's going to start playing Dromai, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
Get him out of here. Halfway proud for Evan. I should explain this. It's like I don't have brothers and sisters. We're both from Texas. We're both big-ass white dudes, I guess. And then there's some layers where it's like you put your arm around him and you're like, all right, Evan, great. But then you sit across from him and you're like, oh, I'm not drawing Blood Rush, Bello. And you're like, well, I'm going to block my 3-6-9-12 block, 3-6-9-12 block. And then he's just like, oh, I'm going to Endless Arrow and do all this stuff like we've already said 15 times. But it is like, I'm proud of you, but I'm also rooting for your downfall at every second so we could have some character growth where you're like whenever you do talk to your opponent and you're like, okay, I beat you. Here's where I would change what you did. You should switch this, and then he's also a judge, so you're like, hey, judge, and then Evan comes over and he's like, I think it's this, and then he like failed the judge test a couple times, so you're like, I think that I could know a little bit, and then it's like, well, I could probably win and be top seed too if people were just throwing their laundry in front of it too early, like all that kind of stuff. You're just like, how's this happening to you? I'm happy for you, but great job. Or you play some of the best players when it's like, oh, they didn't draw their powerful cards. Aether, Ice and Hal Weathervane at the beginning. Vince Erikai too early for this. We got so excited. Vince Erikai so excited. Popper so excited. And then he got a penalty as a judge. How do you do that? How do you reconcile you getting a judge card that's worth $75,000 yesterday, and you can't remember to keep game state in your own game, That's just every thought I had.
Yeah, you really gave it to him. No, it was great. That was great. I mean, I've got to say, I'm don't look at me no, proud of Evan, and I understand what you're saying in that when I play him at the Armory on Tuesday and I get the W, it's a little bit extra satisfying. I understand what you're saying. He's one of those players, you do love him as a man, as an opponent.
I hope he loses.
Happy to beat his ass.
Yeah,
one of those type
Hell yeah.
But with that is the end of Swiss here in the AGE PTI Gold Foil Tournament in Los Angeles.
I don't think we're going to talk to either of those people because we had a judge thing. I don't think it's copacetic there. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break because we're going to announce the top 8. We're going to have stuff happen. We may have something for you. In 2 minutes, we're going to go powwow over there and tell you what we're going to give you.
How's that sound?
Stick around. Go put water in your ice maker. Because you used all of it earlier, and you're going to want it for lemonade on Tuesday, okay? I like looking down here, Christine. This is unnatural to me, I like looking at myself, like I'm talking to myself, We'll see you in 2 minutes, and we'll have something for you, I promise.
Bye.